My name is Jill Burke and I am Professor of Renaissance Visual and Material Cultures. Welcome to my exp. Titian's Venus of Urbino is probably one of the most famous paintings of a female nude from the Renaissance period, and it displays quite clearly all the desired aspects of a beautiful Renaissance woman. So we have a naked woman reclining on her couch with her plump body and these qualities of softness and kind of passivity that is desired amongst women in this period. But also, if you look closely at her face and her hair, she has long, kind of dark blonde, honey blonde, wavy hair. She has arched, dark eyebrows. She has dark eyes. She has rosebud lips. She has the clearest, most beautiful pinky white skin, all of which were qualities that were desired for women in this period, and qualities that cosmetics handbooks, beauty recipes told women how to achieve. Now, it might seem that that is very, very distant from women's lives, and it might seem that this is very distant from the way that women should, for example, choose to get ready or choose to dress their hair. But in fact, it's part of a much broader culture of fascination with women's appearance and beauty that becomes really, really noticeable from the early years of the 16th century. So just a few years, about a decade before Titian's painting, you see the first cosmetics recipe books appearing. And these are not aimed at wealthy women. These are short pamphlets that would have been readily available for a few pennies from a market square in Florence or Venice. And they explicitly tell women how to become Venus-like. So they are advertised by being called, one of the first ones is called Venista, or Venus-like, and it has an opening rhyme that tells women to come in, and it says this book will be like having a beautiful friend by your side advising you how to get lovely blonde locks, how to get white skin, how to get rosebud lips, how to get arched eyebrows, and so on. So you have these paintings which seem unrealistic or seem too ideal to mean very much to just a regular person. But then these cosmetic books provide this link. They provide this link between this highfalutin visual culture and actually what a lot of women were doing in their lives and how women felt that they should look. And as you go through the 16th century, these cosmetic manuals proliferate both in manuscript form and in printed form and become much more complex. Until in 1562 you get the first edition of a book called The Ornaments of Ladies by Giovanni Maranello, and this makes explicit this connection. He says, the ideal beauty, the beauty that women should aim for, is the beauty is shown by the poets and painters. And he gives quotes from people like the Italian 14th century poet Petrarch and the 16th century poet Ariosto, where they describe in minute detail the beauty of their fictional characters, and he says this is what you should be aiming for. So you can see even in the 16th century that women are asked to mimic ideals that are not attainable, and so they're always being asked to look like fictional characters or look like these reclining goddesses on painted canvases. Baldassare da Castiglione, in this very important book, The Courtier, that was read all over Europe at this time, coins this idea of sprezzatura as being a very important quality for a courtier, female and male courtier, to have. And sprezzatura is the idea of kind of effortless grace. So it's effortless accomplishment. And this comes through too in ideas of beauty. So although you might have a book like The Ornaments of Ladies that has 4,000 or so recipes in it, the idea is that you shouldn't look like you've made any effort to look beautiful, but you should use these recipes to enhance your natural beauty. So the idea that in the Renaissance makeup consisted of these heavy white masks is just simply not the case. Natural beauty, the idea that you could look natural, was a very important part of Renaissance beauty culture, even if that natural look took quite a long time to achieve. So this kind of brings it in line with the notion of sprezzatura, that it could take you ages to look nonchalant when you're perhaps fighting with a rapier or something like that, or doing a dance. It could take a long time, but that effort should not be clear. And it's the same with beauty. You shouldn't look like you made any effort to be beautiful. You should just appear like you were beautiful from when you got up in the morning. Beauty ideals in Renaissance culture, as arguably today, were really difficult to attain. And this difficulty is the thing that really goes through, is a leitmotif of beauty cultures. And one of the things that was really prized, for example, was pale skin, pale, soft, clear, gleaming skin. These qualities that were emphasized as being truly beautiful really excluded a large amount of the population. This includes these this new servant class that may have had dark skin. It excluded people who were forced to come into Europe with colonization, with new trade with sub-Saharan Africa. You have a real fashion for black slaves, for sub-Saharan African slaves in Italy in the early 16th century, just at the same time as these beauty cultures come about. And so these people are excluded, automatically excluded, because of this emphasis on white skin. And it's not because these people didn't exist. It's quite a deliberate exclusion. Also, in terms of gender, you had to look right somehow. You had to be the right kind of woman in order to meet these ideals. This kind of rather passive idea, this with soft skin, with a fleshy body, not a muscled body, for example. So beauty ideals in this period did tend to be quite strict and quite exclusionary. Beauty culture is complex. It's related to broad social forces. It's related to the availability of things like ingredients. It's related to geographical change, economic change. Today, as in the Renaissance, what happens in the privacy of people's bathrooms or dressing rooms or bedrooms, and how they feel about themselves in relationship to the world, is a product of many, many different factors. And these are not personal decisions as much as we like to think of them as, these just personal and intimate decisions. They interact very closely with a much larger questions in a much larger world.